Last Saturday, I played a clip of Joe Biden verbally admitting that if the racial wealth gap isn't closed, the black community is going to be in serious trouble. And I'm going to play that again for you right now.
We talked about closing the racial wealth gap. That's the single biggest thing I want to get done. It's the ultimate equalizer, no matter what else happens, because I plan on spending over $15 billion to provide for opportunity for young black entrepreneurs to get them off the ground, black farmers to be able to own their own property, young people being able to get their first $15,000 down payment on a home, making sure that they have an opportunity to gain wealth. We can do all the rest of this unless the black community is able to make up the wealth gap. In my humble opinion, is real trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the President of the United States literally telling you that he is fully aware of the fact that if the racial wealth gap is not closed, the black community is finished. Now, if the President of the United States is fully aware of this, then you can rest assured that your fellow congressmen and women know and understand this to be the truth as well. And this is why, without any apology, I have been beating the drum for over a year now that police and criminal justice reform is a waste of time. The black community's most pressing issue is the racial wealth gap. And with that, the only justice that matters is economic justice. Once that has been realized, everything else will self-correct on its own, and everybody knows it. Yet Biden and Harris is wasting your time with a 200 years too late anti-lynching bill, while Jim Clyburn is attempting to get a bill passed that will make Lift Every Voice and Sing America's official national hymn. Meanwhile, all of your so-called black leaders, representatives, and pundits, from Charlemagne and Diddy to Tamika Mallory and Angela Rye, who all have enormous platforms, are completely silent on seriously holding these politicians accountable because they are all members of the Vote Blue No Matter Who gang. Now, what we are currently witnessing happen to the black community, in my opinion, is criminal. And in the midst of all of this, Maxine Waters and other members of the Congressional Black Caucus are fighting for economic justice in Barbados. Yes, while the black community is economically dying out in America, the CBC is fighting for economic justice in the Caribbean. And this came right after Maxine Waters cursed out the black homeless population in Los Angeles, yelling at them to go home. They are homeless. They have no home, and that's the problem. But she's cursing them out for having the audacity to hold her accountable as their congressional representative.
Wilson. Did they move another location where they're taking abs? Is there any more locations than this one?
No, it might have been just so many people out here.
1 minute. I want everybody to go home. And I want
we don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here. Miss McKinney, Miss Waters, what home we gonna go to?
Yeah.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Nothing is going to happen here today. Nothing is going to happen anymore today.
But what about these names?
What we're gonna well, that's what give
well, can you leave?
Excuse me.
Can you leave?
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And so I will be downtown with Lassa. I will get the housing authority. That's why they came out here today. I made them come out here. And I'm going to go.
And you need to know why they're failing, because Blanca Jimenez repeated, we gave her several meeting requests for you concerning this in Lassa for years.
And now there's nobody in Washington who works for their people in a harder than I do.
I believe you.
I don't want to hear that.
I believe you. So can we finish though? Work with me.
No.
Work with me so we can house people. That's what I'm doing.
I do every day.
You do every day. I'm still on the damn
the
street.
money that you got
She said that she doesn't pass it out.
in Washington, D.C. I will continue to work. I will get the information. I will say no more about you today.
They would never know about you.
And right after that, she hopped on her private jet and headed straight to Barbados to fight for economic justice in the Caribbean. Now, the article that I'll be reading from today is from the StThomasSource.com, and it is titled Legislator Corner, Plaskett joins delegation visiting Barbados on Caribbean financial and trade issues. Congresswoman Stacey E. Plaskett released the following statement regarding her trip to Barbados with a congressional delegation led by Maxine Waters, chair of the Financial Services Committee of the U.S. House of Representatives. Congressman Stacey Plaskett was invited to attend several meetings with her colleagues from Congress and several prime ministers of the Caribbean. During the trip, Representative Plaskett met with the officials of the International Monetary Fund along with the Caribbean Development Bank. In those meetings, members of Congress and experts on economic development and financial stability and growth discussed increased engagement and support by the U.S. The delegation also had briefings on the current affairs in Haiti. Plaskett was also a part of the Caribbean Financial Access Roundtable, co-hosted by Chairwoman Waters and the Honorable Mia Moore Motley, Prime Minister of Barbados. Now here is what Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett had to say. I am very pleased with the outcome of the Caribbean Financial Access Roundtable, which convened U.S. policymakers, Caribbean community and common market heads of state, financial institutions, and industry experts to confront the economic challenges triggered by the harmful trend of de-risking in the Caribbean. De-risking efforts have led to many U.S. banks to sever ties with the Caribbean affiliates, resulting in significant economic disruption to countries and businesses in the region. The financial exclusion facing our Caribbean neighbors has also impacted remittances, posing serious financial challenges for families with modest resources. Under the leadership of Chairwoman Maxine Waters, we examined solutions to expanding financial access and shifting the economic landscape for present and future generations. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if Maxine Waters was fighting to expand financial access and shifting the economic landscape for present and future generations of poor Black Americans? But I guess that would be too much like right now, wouldn't it? Since 1983, the Caribbean Basin Initiative, efforts to strengthen and expand trade ties between the Caribbean and the United States have largely faltered. A robust U.S.-Caribbean trade agreement will help alleviate major pressures on local food systems and contribute to economic stability in the region. To this end, I promoted further discussion among Caribbean leaders on effective trade solutions on this trip and also introduced H.R. 1047 on the House floor in the last few weeks. The Caribbean Financial Access Roundtable and the Caribbean Trade Resolution, if passed in the House, are the beginning of a concerted effort to enhance the economic vitality of the Caribbean. It is my hope that the 9th Summit of the Americas will build on the significant progress made this week and move the region one step closer to attaining our shared goals of economic integration and growth. Now, how much are you willing to bet that H.R. 1047, which is the Caribbean Trade Resolution, will pass Congress this year before H.R. 40 does? I'm willing to bet a lot on that. And before people kill me in the comment section about how broken and flawed H.R. 40 is, understand, I get that. But that's not the point right now. The point is that your representatives are so dedicated to solving the issues of every other group in this country, as well as financial issues within other countries, more so than they are handling the business of the Black Americans that they are supposed to be representing. And that is the point that I'm trying to make here. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. Please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a direct text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever gives this channel the axe. I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those who have issues with joining Patreon, you could also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you have not already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.